David Jacobson, the hostage from Huntington Beach, California, waiting tonight for a reunion with his family in West Germany. CBS News reporting that the Ayatollah Khomeini may have been the man who pulled the strings and made this all happen. Working behind the scenes was Hafez Assad, the president of Syria, a man the United States says is a supporter of terrorism. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, David Jacobson is a free man, free of the torment of terrorism. He is free thanks to an elaborate and secret deal worked out with anti-American Mideast powers. This is the man who arranged it, British negotiator Terry Waite. CBS News reports that Waite made a deal with the leader of the Islamic Jihad, a terrorist group loyal to Iran's Khomeini. Iran may have forced the release, hoping to get U.S. help in its war with Iraq. The Syrian president may have played a part as well. Experts say Syria is trying to live down its reputation as a terrorist state.
The Syrians who have been caught as a terrorist state would like to look humane, would like to look able to deliver.
Tonight, the State Department is denying that the United States gave into demands by Syria and Iran to win Jacobson's release. A spokesman says there was no deal. But deal or no deal, he is a free man tonight. Our Ross Becker traveled all the way to Wiesbaden, West Germany for this report on Jacobson's first day of freedom.
It was the moment David Jacobson dreamed about for nearly 18 months, arriving here in Wiesbaden and the U.S. military hospital. The beard, the evidence of his months in captivity, remained, but was trimmed. He smiled, shaking hands, just like many other U.S. hostages captured by terrorists and then released. This place in Wiesbaden becomes the next best thing to home. Doctors examined him at the German hospital and declared him in good health. The prayers and the hopes of his family and friends in Southern California came true. Then he told reporters here about his new life as a free man again.
I can't tell you how very, very happy and I am here today, but it's with really mixed feelings. To be a free man again. Many of you look to be about my same age. You remember a beautiful ballad from the 30s. I think it was composed by Jerome Kern. The best things in life is free and buy nothing.
We don't know yet how long David Jacobson will remain here in Wiesbaden. A few days at least. He's safe now and happy, but still worried about the other Americans he left behind, wondering if the same kind of miracle which set him free might do the same for them.
Those guys are in hell, and we've got to get them home. And thank God for men like Terry Waite. They come home.
We'll stay here a couple of days, and then there's a possibility that I shall go back. Okay. But we're being very careful about what we say for the moment because they're just very critical days.
This is Ross Becker in Frankfurt, West Germany.
And at this hour, the Jacobson family is on its way to Wiesbaden, anxious for the reunion tomorrow. They left early this morning. As you can imagine, the trip was hastily planned. Son Eric arrived at LAX very tired. He'd been up since early Sunday morning, but he was relieved. News reports showed his father in good condition.
I think today I'm really beginning to feel the joy of all of it. Yesterday it was almost as shocking as the day that we first got the word that he was taken. So seeing the footage, seeing that he is indeed reasonably well and is in decent spirits and hasn't been totally destroyed by his captivity, I think we have quite a reason to celebrate.
But the Jacobson children say they will not be satisfied until all the other American hostages are home safe too. That was also the concern of President Reagan today. On the campaign trail, he said the U.S. is working in secret to win the release of the other hostages. But he was cautious when asked if any would be freed soon.
There's no way to tell that. We've been, there hasn't been a day and an hour that we haven't been working on that. We've had heartbreaking disappointments.
The president has been careful not to talk about Jacobson's release in his campaign speeches so that he won't be accused of using the release for political purposes.
Jacobson marked his first day of freedom with some advice for his fellow Americans. He urged everybody to vote in tomorrow's elections. Jacobson called that the greatest privilege in the world. His words have special significance here in Los Angeles County, where the lowest voter turnout in history is predicted. The president, meantime, spent this day trying to get out the Republican vote. He ended a campaign blitz with a rally in Orange County. Mr. Reagan stood hand in hand with Republican candidates from George Deukmejian to Senate hopeful Ed Schau. The president tried to drum up support for Republicans tomorrow by beating the drum of patriotism.
We turned the economy around Inflation is down, interest rates are down, jobs and growth are up, and today we're enjoying one of the longest economic expansions in our history.
Governor Deukmejian hardly needs his support, that is the president's. He is considered, Deukmejian is a shoo-in for re-election tomorrow, but it's predicted to be a very tight race for Ed Shao. That's all the more important to the president because, of course, he's trying to keep Democrats from gaining control of the U.S. Senate. Shao is fighting to knock the incumbent, Alan Cranston, off the hill, literally off the hill. Today, Cranston said he's confident he'll keep his seat, also confident Democrats will ascend to the control of the Senate. Cranston appeared in the Santa Monica Mountains area, reminding voters of the park and wilderness areas that he has created.
My work to bring about the preservation of this magnificent stretch of open space was a labor of love. The task is not yet finished.
Cranston has some reason to be concerned tonight. He started out way ahead of his challenger in the polls, but the latest field poll shows that he is running neck and neck with Ed Shao. The polls haven't changed much for this man. He is still way behind Governor Deukmejian in the race for the governor's seat. Mayor Bradley telling students at UC Berkeley that makes it all the more important for the students to vote tomorrow.
You represent the hope of America. You represent the kind of determination that will make a difference in life. We need you tomorrow because we must make a difference in that election.
Bradley said pollsters assume many young people will not vote, so therefore they don't count for any of the poll studies. So Bradley said if young people do turn out tomorrow, the results of the election could be dramatically different from what is predicted.
And everyone, of course, will get their say in those election results in just a couple of hours. The polls open at 7 o'clock in the morning. Besides the races John just told you about, there's the vote to confirm or reject California Chief Justice Rose Byrd, the highly controversial AIDS initiative that could lead to the quarantine of AIDS patients, and the proposition to make English the official language of California. We will have the only continuous live coverage of the elections right here on Channel 2. That's starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and lasting until all the big races are decided.
Long day, an interesting day tomorrow. Coming up next for us tonight here on Channel 2, the Southside Killer may have struck one more time, and a startling report about our skies. Radar guiding planes around the Southland may be dangerously inadequate.
The amazing Isuzu Trooper 2. Its four-wheel drive can take you anywhere. In fact, I drove it up here myself. It has more seats than the Astrodome, plus enough cargo space to carry Texas. And Isuzu will accept marbles and seashells as payment, but they're selling fast, so you have to come in 5 minutes. You have my word on it.
Right now, your local Isuzu dealer is offering great deals on 2- and 4-door Trooper 2s. Get your foot in the door. Call Home Savings.
This could be the fall you fall for Eastern Airlines Caribbean. Prices have dropped. The crowds have disappeared. So there's no better time to fall for our 18 destinations throughout the Caribbean and the Bahamas. Eastern's Nassau, for example, is just $379 per person, complete with hotel and round-trip coach airfare. Call your travel agent or Eastern for complete details. Love may last forever, but our fall prices won't.
In Los Angeles tonight, word that the Southside Killer may have struck again. He is the man accused of killing at least 17 prostitutes in South L.A. This morning, the police found the body of a woman in her 20s in a South Central L.A. neighborhood. The police say they will not be able to determine if this is the work of the Southside Killer until an autopsy has been completed. Federal aviation investigators, meantime, are admitting that there are dangerous radar problems in the Southland. But tonight, they insist those problems have been found and that they are being fixed. The radar systems track planes at the 3 major airports, Los Angeles International, one of them, along with John Wayne Airport in Orange County and Lindbergh Field in San Diego. Controllers say some planes actually have disappeared from their screens. The radar showed other planes in turning patterns when they were really on a straight course. Investigators blame old equipment, poor radar locations, and faulty computer programming.
And in other news tonight, First Lady Nancy Reagan says she wants her former maid back at the White House as soon as possible. Anita Costello had been charged with smuggling ammunition into her native Paraguay. The charges were dropped today because there seemingly wasn't enough evidence against her. Costello said her only involvement was innocently translating information for the buyers.
Kevin asked me earlier what I thought would be an interesting question to get into the weather, and I said, well, why not ask about Election Day?
Well, sounds good. Let's put it this way, John. If this forecast was a proposition tomorrow, I don't think I'd have to do too much campaigning to get it passed, if you know what I mean. It looks like tomorrow we may have a little less wind, a little bit more heat, but the Santa Ana type condition giving us good visibility, good air quality should last right on through the end of the week. Facts and figures for your Monday. If you have to start a Monday off, the beginning of the week, you better do it warm, and we did. 85 and 60, our high and low today. Now, normally, we should be at 75 degrees, so we're doing real good. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. Turned out to be absolutely fabulous. I had a chance to get up around Santa Barbara. Visibility was beautiful. East winds at 9 right now. We're down to 64 degrees. Quick look at our close-in view and look at the clearness of all of the state of California as far as the coast. With high pressure perched right over northern Nevada and Idaho, you can see the column of clouds circulating around the system. As I pull it back and show you the far west view, we don't have any storm system to worry about. Here are those little clouds you can see. Because this is entrenched so much, it's going to be diverting any storm activity well to our north. Almost a cloud-free week, if you will. How about those temperatures for tomorrow? We'll start in the valleys and then work our way to the deserts. Upper 80s again in the valleys tomorrow. So if you go to the polls, it's going to feel like you're voting in summertime. 88 in the low desert, 76 in the high desert. A very chilly night in the mountains should make it to about 62 tomorrow. Going coast to coast, you can see a lot of clouds right around the Great Lakes and already down in the deep, deep south. Our forecast weather map for tomorrow is going to keep a lot of rain in that part of the country. Should be nice in the northeast. And look at this ridge of high pressure really locking in. It's not only going to give us abundant sunshine for the next couple of days, but again, good air quality and good visibility as well. Our forecast for later on this evening, and as the polls open, it'll be clear and breezy, 58. Look for the winds to die down late tomorrow. In the next 5 days, look this way. Lots of sunshine with a daytime best of about 87 degrees on Election Day, and boom, just like that, it's gone. Look for about 85 degrees in the middle of the week, and all in all, the next 5 days looking real good. We had a red flag alert today. Fire officials thought because of the Santa Ana condition that the fire potential was very dangerous. As the winds die down, the flags will likewise come down, and that's real good
well, that's
news.
tomorrow. You said breeze is going to be up, so that's probably going to get...
It'll probably have a red flag better part of tomorrow. I look for them to come down Wednesday.
All right, good.
Have a good night.
You too, Kevin. Thank you. Just ahead, Jim Hill with sports. He'll show us how one ram can devastate a whole pack of bears.
Hey, did you ever fly one of those airlines, no frills? I did. Oh, forget about it. But there was no place for my bag. They said put it under your seat. There was a guy sitting there. Oh, I tell you, no frills was right. I ordered like a lamb. I couldn't get past the wool. Now I fly Western. It don't cost any more, and they treat you like you're somebody. Even if you're nobody.
Western Airlines to 68 cities is the only way to fly.
A century ago, the founders of Mercedes-Benz created the world's first automobiles. Over the years, their mastery of technology and intolerance for mediocrity inspired countless automotive legends. Now, as Mercedes-Benz enters its second century, the technology has changed, yet the passion for perfection remains, creating Mercedes-Benz for 1987, legends for the second century.
California vote count 86. Some critical issues at stake. A seat in the U.S. Senate. Will it be Cranston or Shao? Prop 64, the AIDS initiative. Will Californians be forced to take AIDS tests? Rose Byrd, will she keep her seat as top judge in California? Only one station will provide continuous national and local coverage. Join John Schubeck, Tricia Toyota, Bill Stout, and Warren Olney for Vote Count 86, Tuesday beginning at 3, only on Channel 2.
Oh, I'm beat.
Yeah. Not to worry. I'll cook. Let's see. What do we have here?
What I'd really like is Coco's teriyaki chicken.
Well, here's some yellow stuff.
With lightly grilled shrimp and a crisp green salad. Only $7.45. What did you do with the yellow stuff?
Same thing you'd have done. Put it back in the freezer.
Coco's, it's always a pleasure.
Rams are not the same team that the Chicago Bears are. And the reason for that is the Rams have got a great defense.
And they're better tonight. It was a great win for the franchise. Oh, it certainly was. They beat them at their own game. They just out-physical them. They were really tough. The Rams are not going to have to wait until they get to New Orleans to start celebrating. They're going wild in Chicago tonight after beating the defending Super Bowl champions in a slugfest at Soldiers Field. The Bears come out running the ball right at the Rams. Walter Payton picking up 40 yards on the game's opening drive and moving deep into Los Angeles territory. And Chicago settles for 3 as Kevin Butler connects from 31 yards out on the field goal. And for a while, it appeared that 3 points would be enough as Steve Dills misfires time and time again. Just before the end of the half, the Bears get a break. Henry Elliott bobbles the punt. The Bears fall on it and have the ball with time running out. But Steve Fuller turns it right back over, throwing the ball deep into the end zone while Nolan Cromwell is waiting. It's his 3rd interception of the season, and it kills the threat. And Mike Ditka doesn't like it one bit as the first half ends 3-0 Bears. Second half, the Rams tied after an interception. Then the special teams get into it. They force Maury Buford to fumble the punt. Leroy Irvin scoops it up. 22 yards later, the Rams have a touchdown and the lead. And Irvin and Norwood Van do their own version of the Super Bowl Shuffle. After the ensuing kickoff is returned 85 yards, Thomas Sanders goes in from 10 yards out, and the game is all tied. Dills is intercepted, and Sanders gets loose again. 34 yards later, the Bears have the lead and the momentum. But the Rams don't fold. In fact, they don't even waver. Dills, who hit on only 6 of 25 passes, came up with a big toss in a big situation, hitting Olympic sprinter Ron Brown for 65 yards in the tying score. Then late in the game, the Rams moved towards a winning field goal, Eric Dickerson getting 7 yards on this screen pass. And that set up Mike Lansford, who connects from 50 yards out, and the Rams defeat the defending champions 20-17.
Well, I thought that it'd be a good idea if I made the kick, considering we had gotten into field goal position. I felt good, though. I felt strong. I felt like I was kicking the ball real well all night, despite the cold, and it felt great going off my foot. Even better watching it go through.
It's one of the most exciting days of my life, I'll tell you right now, and I thank God for Mike Lansford, and of course Dickerson got 111 yards, and he ran his heart out. It was a tough, hard-fought ball game, and hey, thank the Lord we won.
They're the standard that everybody's measured by, and you know, everyone's out to get the Bears, and you know, we just caught them and we beat them, but hey, we'll probably see them again sometime.
We kind of hang in there. We don't blink. We just keep playing, and it turned out our way.
Typical Ram football. You know, they say we win ugly, but we win. That's the most important thing.
That is the bottom line. The Rams now have a record of 7-2, and with the win, they are a game and a half up over San Francisco in the NFC's Western Division. Now, 2 weeks into the season, there was some fear Joe Montana's football career might be over. You remember Montana underwent back surgery to repair a disc problem, and tonight he's been given permission to return to the 49ers' active roster. Meanwhile, in Buffalo, the head coach there is now Mark Levy. Calgary's Joel Otto, that's Joel Otto of Calgary, who hasn't scored a goal in 3 weeks. Well, he put 3 in the nets tonight as the Flames defeated the Los Angeles Kings. There was some extracurricular activity in the second period as former teammates Tiger Williams and Lanny McDonald square up. McDonald is the loser. But the Kings were the real losers, up 2-1. Otto gives the Flames a 2-goal advantage, beating Darren Elliott in front of the net right there. Then, as time runs out, Otto completes the 3-goal hat trick, firing from center ice, goes right into the empty net. The Kings lose again. The final score, you see it, 4-2. And that's a look at sports tonight. Those guys are on their way now. The plane is 35,000 feet. They're about 80,000.
At least.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
We are too. Thanks a lot, Jim. Just ahead, Digby Diehl is live at a Hollywood gala opening. It's for Rosanna Arquette's newest film. An interview with her coming up next.
What? I'm through with all of...
In California, there are over 400 banks and 200 savings and loans, all offering you savings accounts, checking accounts, charge cards, and an endless variety of loans with very little difference among them. What really separates one from the others is its name. Ours is Sears, Sears Savings Bank. The name you've always trusted, now where you need it most.
The
lottery just minted California cash. The scratch-off game was something new added. If your 5-coin amounts add up to more than $1, you win. Up to $75,000. Or a chance at the big spin. California cash. It all adds up.
And I can't wait to show you Paris. You love the parks, the cafes. And I hope you like Claude, my fiancé. Love, Olivia.
When you just can't wait for the whole story, pick up the phone.
Fiancé? Who is he? When did you meet him?
AT&T International Long Distance makes it easy, and it costs a lot less than you'd think.
Does my maid of honor forgive me for surprising her? Absolument.
Oh, a nice and soft moment.
My baby, do you want the moon to play with, or the stars to run away with? They'll come if you don't cry.
There's a special softness in nice and soft bathroom tissue, especially for you.
Happy to say that the actress Gilda Radner is doing well tonight, recovering from surgery to remove a malignant ovarian cyst. A spokeswoman for Radner says chances for her recovery are excellent. The star of several movies and television shows, Saturday Night Live among them, of course, reported to be in good spirits. Her husband, Gene Wilder, close by.
And Channel 2's entertainment editor, Digby Diehl, is nobody's fool when it comes to spotting rising young stars. Digby is here with a live report at the opening of a new movie, Nobody's Fool. And he's a pretty lucky guy. He gets to interview Rosanna Arquette tonight. Digby.
Thank you, Paula. Well, it's a very exciting evening. Here's the premiere of Nobody's Fool. And indeed, I feel like somebody's smart, because I said this movie was terrific several weeks ago. And it's turning out that everybody else agrees with me. Eric Roberts and Rosanna Arquette, two of the hottest rising young stars in Hollywood, are just smashing in this film, and it's a lot of fun. We just described you a moment ago, Rosanna, as a zany actress. How do you think of that?
I don't know. It's made me laugh. I mean, I guess it's flattering. I'm a zany actress. I don't know what it means, but yes.
Tell us a little bit about this movie.
Oh, I think it's a romantic comedy. There's an old-fashioned quality about it that's nice, and Beth Henley wrote the script, so the screenplay is wonderful, and we have a great people, Mara Winningham and Louise Fletcher and Jim Youngs. We have a really wonderful cast.
How would you describe the character you play in this movie?
I guess she's a zany kind of girl. She's just a very emotional girl.
All right. Why don't we take a look for a second at some of the scenes in this movie, Rosanna?
I came here because I have something to tell you.
Uh-huh. What?
Thank you.
Well, that's pretty zany, isn't it?
I guess. I just think this is a fun movie, and I hope people go see it because it's a nice movie.
Well, now, you did such a sensational job with Madonna and Desperately Seeking Susan. This is a movie, though, that you're really the star of. Does it make you feel different?
No, I just think I like the script a lot better, so I had a nice time doing this movie.
All right, terrific. Well, listen, I had a nice time talking with you, and I think it's a wonderful movie, and it's going to go a long ways. And congratulations. Back to you, John and Paula, in the newsroom.
Digby, thank you very much. And Rosanna, zany Arquette, thank you as well.